and I don't think any of them are as close as this. St Helens 12, Wakefield 12, start of the second half. No goals from St Helens. Wellens has missed 3, not the regular kicker, of course, and they might come to rue the fact that there isn't a more experienced goal kicker. We've got the likes of Roby, I suppose, who has had a dig in the past. Matt Gidley also has had a successful kick or two this year. But Wellens restarts, and Wakefield with this wind at their backs, and nearly a mistake with Ferguson and Grix, because Wellens was aiming that to the sidelines. A good kick-off and a good chase by St Helens this right at the start of the second half.
Well, it's obvious it was a planned move there as well by the fullback Wellens. He kicked the top of the ball, made it just bounce all over the place. Interesting to see how Wakefield, whether they do utilise the wind that will be to their advantage. Will they kick early in the tackle count, keep turning the St Helens? Oh, that's a penalty. Home side don't like it, neither does Mr Gilmore.
Would you class that as a shock at Headingley that we've just seen going through as we watch this penalty that goes against Saints? Hull KR leading at the home of the champs.
This is Super League, Eddie. Anything can happen, as we well know. No, it's not a shock.
Fair enough. Wakefield to restart then from that penalty. Only 5 in the match from the whistle of Thierry Alibert. And Dimitriou gives it to Brough, who in turn then gives it to Kevin Henderson. Well, a great kick-off from St Helens, then a touch of indiscipline, conceding the penalty. Wakefield now on the front foot with Richard Moore. Well, the two are in there pretty quickly with Kieran Cunningham. Mick Potter planning to use Cunningham about 25, maybe 30 minutes in the match, just to ease him back into first-team action. This is Richard Moore, meanwhile. Ball gets away to Brough, it finds its way to Henderson. Was that a high shot from Melly? Referee was on the spot, decided to allow play on. Oh, and it bounces off a Wakefield body, and Leon Price to the rescue.
No advantage, good decision there by Thierry Alibert, because the ball just ricochets down, and you see that he looks and says, well, I should have had my eyes on that football, and Kevin Henderson realises it too.
And now a penalty.
Yeah, I think they've said a few words. I don't know whether most of the Super League players realise that Mr Thierry Alibert has got a good command of English. In fact, quite a few people think he's got a better command of English than I.
He certainly speaks French better than you.
No doubt about that one.
How do you spell Cassoulet? This is Tony Portua. Over halfway for St Helens. 2 tackles gone. Cunningham flips the pass away. Henderson and co. And talking of France, we are there in the heat, hopefully, of Perpignan on Sunday for Catalan Dragons against Harlequins. 5 o'clock, Sky Sports 2 HD2.
Well, another error from St Helens. It must be coming a worry for their coach, Mick Potter. Big fella, he certainly couldn't get hold of that ball. It was a pretty hard pass, I must say.
Dimitriou, the dummy half, and on the charge forward goes James Stosic. Dimitriou. I was about to say the St Helens crowd just holding their breath here, a little bit quieter than normal tonight, but then every time they suspect a forward pass, they let the referee know their feelings. Brough nipped it over the top of Gilmore, who didn't have to move out of the way, and Brough ran straight into him. Still managed to get there though, the number 7, as you can see, with Sam Obst.
He tried to be crafty, did he, in trying to calm the referee. He didn't. He had a good look at it, did Mr Alibert.
Here's Wellens. Again, brave from Wellens, got stitches in the top lip of his mouth, Paul Wellens. And 44 minutes, the stitches have held, thank goodness. And Hull KR have increased the lead at Leeds. They've taken a kick there, which of course Wakefield didn't last week when they got a succession of penalties in front of the Leeds post. But that was last week. Let's concentrate on this week. John Kear's put all that inquest to bed.
Okay.
As Wilkin dabs it over the top, but not the best. Blameyer, whose try denied St Helens, whose tackle denied St Helens the try right on the stroke of half-time.
It surprised me there that Wilkin went for the aerial route. We saw late in that first half that Danny Brough, full control of the ball, but against the wind, he kept it low, and that's play on. Oh, he's given well, what is he, a knock on? Well, if that's a knock on, then it's play on.
I said free.
Well, you would think so.
I mean, the ball comes free, the man picks it up and runs away with it.
Let's go. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. That should...
Stay, wait, John, wait. Edin, Sam.
He's lost it.
Halt!
Oh, strangely, no shouts of dissent from the St Helens terrace.
Well, they've got possession. I suppose that's some consolation, but I must say, Mr. Alibert is not having the best of nights.
Second! Movement!
But his English is good. This is Cunningham.
Go. Well done, Jason.
Cunningham shows it to Clough and gives it then to Wilkin. Nowhere for Wilkin to go. Quickly on him, Moore and Steve Snitch. Here's Pulatua.
Good run. That's what they need. Take a little bit more fired in the forwards, get over the advantage line, take control.
Price. Always danger when Leon Price has the ball, gets to within 10 on the last tackle here for St Helens. Paul Clough gives it then to Wilkin. Wilkin will stab the kick in. Oh, that could have been offside.
It's got to be offside.
And he says, no, it came off the ankle. He is, I think, believing that everybody is thinking that that was a knock-on. But
no, it was offside. He ricocheted and there was a player, a Wakefield player in front.
Here's Steve Snitch.
Well, I'm afraid the man with the whistle is having a Joe Cocker.
Hold! Go.
Definitely stood in front. Well, this is amazing. Different interpretations, of course.
And Brough has given that some air with the wind at his back. But Melly, he funneled back and made sure it wasn't a 40-20. Gives it then to Wellens. Down he goes. Down to Bill.
Problem for Wakefield. It looks as though Tavita Leolatu won't be coming back now. He's still on the sidelines and he's got his tracksuit top on, in fact. And it is the shoulder injury, and in fact this goes all the way back to the World Cup. He picked up the shoulder injury in the World Cup and had close season surgery on the shoulder, and he's had problems with it since then. He missed the start of the season, of course, and it's recurred tonight, which is a big blow for Wakefield.
And if they had to decide the winner of this game for sheer enthusiasm, I think Wakefield would win it. We're still level at 12-all, and here's a high kick from Leon Price. But I've been really impressed with Wakefield. He's taken it well, in the in-goal area? No, got back into the field of play. Excellent play again there by Matt Blameyer. Wakefield have started the second half very impressively again. He's now pushing a surge from Saints in defence to see if they can get back into the energy battle, really.
Griggs. Blameyer, wonderful tackle before half-time. Good work at the back then for Wakefield as Moore will drive it forward once again for the Wildcats.
Oh, nice offload as well. Atkins has got the run.
He has. How on earth did he get that away? But he did.
Wait!
Demetriou waits at the play the ball and had to scamper himself, Demetriou. He knew that Big Tony Pulatua could not touch him. He wasn't standing square at the play the ball. And Obst with the kick, but Wellens has positioned himself perfectly. But Obst follows up and gets the Saints captain down. What an offload that was.
Great play by Moore. It shows you they're keen to keep the ball alive.
Steve, do you think St Helens are here for the taking tonight? The crowd's very quiet.
Well, they are, but they can spring into life at any stage. And I think the game is just starting to be played a little bit more now in the Wakefield's end of the field. There was an important offload from Richard Moore to Ryan Atkins. They actually got him out of trouble on that set, but Saints are just playing a really simple form of football at the minute, just carrying the ball one out and putting the ball at the right end of the field here.
The voice of Steve McNamara, the last coach to coach a team to victory on this ground with the Bradford Bulls. And another mistake from St Helens.
And that error count is certainly mounting. It's, we've mentioned time and time again, it's a problem for Mick Potter. Just couldn't keep control of it.
Snitch will play the ball. And here goes James Stosic again.
By the way, in answer to your question in regards to Cassoulet, spelling it, it's Hotpot.
I know what you're saying, but here is Obst. Great support.
Ooh, what a fend! Wellens says it was the elbow that fended him.
And here is Sean Gleeson. And this is Scott Griggs and Wakefield. Did he drop it? Did he drop it, Scott Griggs? Or did he get fingertips on it?
I think he got it down, Eddie.
Well, Wellens is still complaining about the fend. He believes there was a forearm used in his throat. But the referee is not interested in that. He's just looking, I think, and checking the grounding here. This is crucial.
I think he gets it down. That'll be given.
It's an excellent finish for a man who I don't think is a winger. To step inside melee, control the ball, and I think legitimately ground the ball for a try. We'll go back to the elbow in the face from Dimitri to Wellens, Eddie, but that appears from the angles we've got that it's a fair try.
Looks okay to me. But Wellens was furious.
Referee in the video room is Steve Ganson watching this.
That's a try. Forearm. There's no daylight between the ball and the forearm as it's going over. This should be TRY. But we've had some weird decisions from the officials tonight. Anything can happen. This is the incident.
Well, was the video referee asked to look at this?
I don't think so.
Well, can he?
Dimitri, it pushes away. No, I didn't think they could go right the way back, but as he requested...
Well, they can go back.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
I think he requested it. I think
Did the referee ask him?
I think he did. I think he asked him to check the grounding.
It was a bad one. There's no doubt about it, it was a bad one. And Wellens was absolutely furious. Straight away, to his credit, Wellens gets up off the ground straight away and looks at the official and said, "You've got to be kidding."
They're looking at the grounding again. I think this is going to be given.
Well, it's amazing if it is.
Well, Scott Griggs hopes, as do Wakefield, and Steve Ganson says yes. And Paul Wellens, well, he thought he was going to get a penalty for the fend in the throat, but Scott Griggs instead gets the 4 for the touchdown in the corner. The crowd here are furious, they're having a go, and Paul Wellens, well, he just questioned the referee Thierry Alibert, but he handed it upstairs. It has nothing to do with him once it's handed upstairs.
Well, if it has been handed up to Steve Ganson, I think it's amazing that this has been allowed. Great work from Ops and Dimitri, who's having a wow of the game, but to me that looks a forearm charge whilst carrying the football. Listen to the home crowd here. Griggs put it down okay. Oh, that looks bad. I'm sorry. I don't think there's any excuse for just ignoring that. I've mentioned over the past couple of weeks, Eddie, haven't I? This is the attempt from Brock.
And this is why the Saints crowd were cheering a moment ago, because he missed it. But that might have ignited the St Helens supporters. Griggs' 4th try in a row and his 6th in the last 7 games. They're not happy that the video referee turned down the appeals about the fend, but so long as he was asked, he could look at it. And I didn't hear Thierry Alibert, I must confess.
Neither did I, but either way, they did refer it to the video referee. And to me, that is foul play.
Well, I don't think what we'll find out now is whether Wakefield really are a playoff team. To be in front with less than half an hour to go at St Helens, and a side that will now be fired up, we'll find out just how good Wakefield are. We've seen how good Richard Moore is in the last few minutes. 2 brilliant offloads with 3 men around him, and Wilkes breaks through 3 or 4 tackles.
Well, I think he's very lucky, the man that's at dummy half there, the captain, Jason Dimitri, who's had a fine game. Tremendous effort from him tonight.
This is Sean Gleeson, meanwhile. I'm hearing, by the way, that Thierry Alibert did not ask Steve Ganson to look at that fend. Mr. Ganson took it on himself to have a look, and he could do that apparently because it was within the last play of the ball before the try was scored. Anyway, he saw nothing wrong with it, and the try has been awarded. 16-12 to Wakefield. Maybe that will liven up this St Helens crowd, because they're as quiet as their team at the moment. Celtic are ahead at Hull.
It's a crazy world in rugby league at the moment, but I have to make this point, and I made it in Boots and All, Eddie, on Wednesday. I think there's a lot of this foul play, head-eye shots are being missed by the officials, but they had every opportunity to act on that. I'm stunned.
Here is Blaymire, passing the ball inside to Scott Grix. There is Jason Demetriou, as I say. He's the man who does lead the way in so many ways for his team. Salford are battling back against Castleford. Here's a knock-on against Wakefield now. Blaymire a mistake, under pressure.
Good work by Gidley. He dragged the ball carrying arm up. Didn't go for the football. Watch him drag the arm. There he goes. Pulls it up, and it's just sufficient. Didn't touch the ball. Clever play.
So Saints in possession from the scrum, and here they come with Wellens. Obviously feels aggrieved about that decision. He'll play the ball here to Chris Dean, who'll take them on. Good run from Dean, and a tackle from Brock that was needed. Melly, 10 metres away, St Helens with Paul Clough now. Cunningham waits at dummy half. Cunningham gives it to Melly. Try for Melly. That's been reverted upstairs as well.
Yeah, I don't think he's got it down cleanly, and he was not given a clear view by the referee, Mr. Alibert. Melly plunges over, that there's little doubt. Does he get it down? Does he get it down? Yes. That's sufficient. This will be given.
60th try for St Helens against Warrington last week. He's yet to score a try against Wakefield. It could be one of those moments for Francis Melly, this. I think that confirms that it is.
Oh, it's a try, easy, no problem.
His first ever try against Wakefield for the New Zealand and Samoan international Francis Melly.
Well, that's clear. Ball's at the deck. End of story. TRY. Get it up on the big screen. Well, it's there. I mean, there. You've just seen it.
Francis Melly's try is given. Scores a level. Once again. And Wellens has got his fourth kick of the night on the agenda. Francis Melly, as I say, he has never scored against Wakefield before. He missed the first 6 of this year because of visa problems, and that's his 8th try of 2009.
Could have come at a better time as well. And Kieran Cunningham, the quick snatch at the dummy half position, watched it, bang straight into his arms. When you got a winger this side, it's just like utilising an extra forward, and that's been a great advantage for St Helens over the years.
Very
Big,
difficult,
strong, fast 3/4.
Very difficult kick, Eddie. Just 10 metres in, it's sort of one you expected to get. Not as easy as in front and not as difficult as the sideline.
And
Test for Wellens.
It is a test for Paul Wellens. And it's a test he has failed again. That's 0 from 4 for Paul Wellens tonight. 16 apiece though. And it's an important try from Francis Melly. Level pegging again.
Pretty quick thinking there. Came like a forward, finish it off with aplomb. They have this wonderful habit down the St Helens. They concede a try, and within minutes they're back in it.
Oh, great kick-off from Danny Brough. He thumped that towards John Wilkin. He said, well, if you're going to stop this from going out, you've got to catch it.
He caught Wilkin in 2 minds, didn't he?
Came at him like a bullet.
Yep. Do I go with the foot or the arm? And the indecision was sufficient.
It's as good as a 42. In fact, it's better than a 40.
Yeah, it is. It's on the 10.
It's a scrum feed to Wakefield. Brough then gives it to Grix, who takes on Clough and Gidley. Wonderful opportunity for Wakefield. Korkidas on the drive. Halted by 4 St Helens jerseys. Obst now at dummy half. Looking for the options. Finds Brough, who went behind him. Lost a bit of momentum there, did Danny Brough. Just snatched at it. Tried to get it moving quickly out wide. This now is Wilkes. Wilkes driving the legs towards the line.
Ops goes in a dummy half. Will he go on a solo?
Has a little scampering run. Finds Griggs, who goes for the hole in the defence. That's the last one. Obst has a look both ways, stabs it to the in-goal area, and it's picked up. Oh no, it isn't. It's come out first. Scott Griggs again. This could be the second try here for Griggs. Thierry Alibert was taken by surprise as a result of all that, and so were we. How did the ball arrive in the arms of Scott Griggs?
I think it comes off Bryn Hargreaves. Ops goes for the little dink. It bounces off the head of Hargreaves and straight into Griggs, and now was it a knock on one way or the other? It's going to be extremely difficult. There's the kick, ricochets off Wellens straight into the head of Hargreaves. Now they know, does it come off? I think that comes off Obst.
Yeah, but does it touch his arm or hands? I think it's a body, mate.
It's hard to say. You're probably right, Phil, on that. It certainly. And was he stood in front? Was he behind? Oh, this is a difficult one.
Well, I think Griggs is all right. I think that's okay. It's just where the ball came off Sam Obst. He's not looking at that just now. The grounding's fine.
Yep.
Came off his body.
How did it get to that position? Obst, Wellens' boot, up it goes.
Onside.
Hargreaves' head, back. That's not a knock on.
That's off his head.
Off his head.
His body, off his chest,
head,
misses his
off his
hands.
chest, misses it. Comes off his knee. Flops down. Ladies and gentlemen, let me announce this should be a try. It was there for the taking. He was like the pinball wizard. I'm not so sure Elton John's out there, but he'll certainly get the record with a try. Onside. He's doing the right thing. It's Mr. Ganson making sure that every possibility has been looked at, and this should be a try. That's okay. That's okay. Off his head. That's okay. Off his head. That's okay. Misses it with the arm. That's okay. Little shuffle. Kneesy. Knees up Mother Brown. Kick the ball there. I must say that St Helens were very slow to see that ball was on the floor.
What's interesting, it's only in the last few minutes that Scott Griggs has been moved to playing stand-off, I think. He's now moved from the wing position he's been on. He's put himself close to the ball. I think he's just got his second try.
He has got his second try. No knock on there by Sam Obst. So Scott Griggs gets try number 2 of this match. And once again, Wakefield have got the lead back.
Well, they had a bit of shade of luck, didn't they? It was bouncing all over the place, but the video referee, Steve Ganson, has got this absolutely spot on. He didn't rush, didn't get too excited. He had 3 or 4 looks at it, been making the decision, but I think he gets it right. As I say, just waltzing around, and Mick Potter, the Saints coach, won't be too happy. It all came about from the wonderful kick-off there. Wilkin was in 2 minds. Great little... Oh, heads or tails? Heads to start with, and he's got it over.
What else is so important, impressive, as we watched the kick here from Danny Brough just a second ago?
Yeah, he adds the extras a couple of moments ago. Wakefield have a 6-point lead.
Scott Griggs actually played the ball. So many players, having been involved, play the ball, and it's instinctive to take a rest. Not Scott Griggs. He played to the whistle.
Well, John Keir denied a week ago on the bell, and Mick Potter, he knew what a threat they possessed, Wakefield, in this game tonight, and well, the threat is coming to fruition, isn't it? Oh, here's a great kick-off now from Johnny Lomax.
Anything you can do, maybe not as better, but just as good. Well, how many times do we see an error from a kick-off? And we've seen 2 in the space of about 2 minutes. First, Wakefield. Danny Brough superb. Lomax
And Saints now with head and feet at the scrum as Leeds fight back against Hull KR. Here is Wellens, tackled by Griggs, first tackle. St Helens stung by that particular try from Scott Griggs. They're trying to respond immediately. Castleford have responded to Salford scoring in the second half. They lead 18-6. Here it's 22-16. The moment the top two both losing in the Engage Super League. Cunningham! Just held up short of the line. Lomax there again. He'll fire the pass to Wilkin. Wilkin then to Price. Price then gives it to Wellens to go wide. Gidley! Well, was that touched by a Wakefield hand in flight? I think it was. Going to be head and feet again to Saints at the scrum here.
He's got it spot on. But did he go for it intentionally? Either way, I think he did. Just got the touch to it. You see the touch shed, just having a little word with the man with the whistle. Good combination.
More pressure. Price, Wellens. Couldn't get the ball away to Melly. Price dummy half. Wilkin loaded up this left side. Wilkin. He's held up just short of the line.
Beautiful run by Wilkin. Came from the open side to the blind. Nearly caught them out.
It's now with Price. He loops it back to Lomax. Finds the ground, losing a little bit of momentum. Gidley is grounded. We've lost about 20 metres there. Cunningham and Wellens and Gidley and Graham. Graham trying to go on his own. He's thwarted on tackle number 4. Cunningham waits and he's chunnering at the Wakefield markers. This is Hargreaves.
Cunningham didn't like what Korkidis was doing in the tackle, according to him.
Last tackle here. Cunningham, and it's Roby, and Griggs does really well, and with Atkins and company, Roby is thwarted. Great defence from Wakefield, the turnover.
Frustrated is Mick Potter. He wanted the kicking. He knew exactly what was needed. They need possession, Eddie, and they've got to go for that second set of 6. They're failing to do that. They went for the power play. Just wasn't on.
Quarter of the match remaining here. Oh, mistake! Korkidis drops it. Big chance for St Helens now, and that's Christine. Even bigger chance now, that's a penalty.
Well, the way that Wellens has been kicking, they've got to take the tap, surely.
Here's Graham, they have tapped it. This is Wilkin, and it is another big test of this Wakefield Trinity Wildcats defence here with Cunningham and Lomax. Price. Oh, that could have been dangerous and was. It's another penalty. Griggs lifted the legs.
Well, is he thinking about a sin binning? Oh, that was a silly tackle. Griggs, the try scorer.
Well, you'd bet your house normally on St Helens turning all this sort of pressure into points. Graham with the first drive. Cunningham finds Price. Price saw a gap. Wakefield closed it quickly. Trailing by 6. Cunningham goes on his own. Trying to use that immense strength of his, but Wakefield force him back. Price is there. Gives it some width to fall. Lomax with a knock on.
Again, you just take your eye off the ball at the crucial moment.
Wakefield celebrate that like it's the match-winning try.
And they have every right to do that. Their defence has been quite superb. They rushed out of the defensive line, and you could see he just had a little glance away from the football. John Keir will be extremely relieved. He is not counting any chickens as yet.
Leeds behind at Headingley, St Helens behind here at Knowsley Road. The top 2 in the Engage Super League are losing on this Friday night. You never know what twists and turns lie ahead of you in this competition. Not saying it's over yet, there's a long, long way to go.
Certainly is. We're only just into the final quarter, and I must say that we've seen a good leadership by Jason Demetriou. He took the ball up yet again, has worked hard in defence.
What have Wakefield learnt from the lessons of last week, whether in front against Leeds? Is there a different style of play here? Is there more confidence and maybe urgency in this game than there is trying to settle and defend a lead that at times I think maybe they were just guilty of last week at home against Leeds?
I wonder if they get a penalty in front of the sticks tonight, whether they will take it.
I think they might, Eddie. I think you might find that John Keir might get out of his seat and rush onto the field
And
with,
take it himself.
with a kicking team himself. Oh, it's great defence.
It is.
They're putting themselves about. They really are working hard.
Oliver Wilson, Ricky Bivey on James Roby. Here's Cunningham. Cunningham then gets the ball away.
Saints will have to revert to maybe a little chip over the top. They've got to come up with something different. It's on the last yet again.
It is, and it's with Graham. They've lost their way. They lost their way there, Saints.
Mick Potter will be furious. He'll be saying, what on earth are we doing? This is incredible. They are getting so frustrated.
The crowd have been very, very quiet all night.
Because they realise, like a lot of people who are watching this game, that Saints have become vulnerable tonight. And Wakefield's defence has been so strong.
Look how hard it is though for Wakefield, Eddie, to make even just 5 metres here with a carry. Is Bybit. If they get to the halfway line, that's a massive result for the Wildcats.
Well, that is the halfway line that they are just over now. Well, they will be in a moment with this kick from Danny Brough. That's a good kick. OK, it's going to run dead, but they'll buy the land there. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah, they'll line up on the 30 for the tap bar on the 20 by Saints.
Okay.
Went early in the tackle count. Tried to catch out the winger. He hadn't dropped back.
15 minutes to go, Steve. If you're John Keir, what are you saying?
Well, he's going to be very happy and very comfortable in the situation at this moment, because they're not really damaging him at the minute, and the enthusiasm level from the Wakefield side just going through the roof, and you can see as that clock's ticking down, it's getting closer and closer to the end of the game here. The fans are more and more energy, this Wakefield side.
And probably their memory bank tells them that they can't relax for a moment after what happened last week. Lucky to get away with that Lomax. Melly managed to get it wide to Dean. He goes down, fourth tackle. Scrambling Wakefield defence. Melly, Lomax steps off the right foot, goes down on the last.
Surely they'll kick now.
Roby dummy half. Lomax was hurt there. Here's Wilkin. Stabs it over the top. And it runs just the right side of the corner flag. Terrific kick from Wilkin, because the scrum now will go down and Saints will hunt the mistake.
Yeah. Very good thinking indeed on that blind side. Didn't want to run the risk of putting the ball high, because someone could have taken it on the full, run the length of the field. Just camp down, apply that pressure.
Just had a look at the Wakefield supporters behind the post that Wakefield are defending. They are biting their nails down to the quick. As Lomax is helped from the field, by the way. He was injured in the tackle in that set of 6, and off he goes.
Well, that's another bit of blow for Mick Potter on the same side. Johnny Lomax, a player who they expect big things of. He's certainly a young talent. But I've been so impressed, and that's a shame to see any player going off like that. But
yes, straight down the tunnel. This is Steve Snitch, meanwhile, for Wakefield.
Oh, and Snitch has dropped it again.
Is that nervous play, Steve?
Well, I'm not sure. Obviously, his conditions are very, very tough out there, but they have put themselves under massive pressure there. There's a couple of times now in the last 10 minutes or so called Kiedis we won and Snitch we won, and they're looking comfortable. If they keep doing that, Saints will find a way.
Yes, you can't give St Helens territory like this. 13 minutes to go, and St Helens probing here with Roby. Remember, they are 6 points behind. Big error by Steve Snitch. Saints in great field position here with Pulatua.
Well, how many times has this man that's in a dummy half, Kieran Cunningham, has brought them out of the mire?
He has, and there's a big hole on this left-hand side for Francis Melly to exploit if they get the ball out to him. They're coming this way. That's off Wellens, it went backwards. Brough got to him, it's the last tackle again. Saints lose territory there. Dean waits at dummy half. It'll go to Wilkin, but it was a looping pass to Wilkin. The kick will be dealt with by Scott Grix. And Grix just goes to ground under pressure from Roby.
Great positioning, wasn't it, by Grix? Oh, look at that.
Leeds have gone ahead against Hull KR. How critical can this match be then here in the last 12 minutes? Remember, Saints starting the night 2 points ahead of Leeds at the top. Leeds now leading. St Helens are losing here. Could be level pegging at the summit of the table.
Now, the one thing that Wakefield will be looking for, if they can get it, is a 40-20.
And Brough went for it, but only found Francis Melly. St Helens supporters raise their voices, find their vocal cords. Maybe they have heard that Leeds are ahead as well. Here is Leon Price.
Well, I think Wakefield realised that they've got to get into a position where they can perhaps go for the 1 point. But at this point in time, they haven't been up there for about 10 minutes.
Yes, they can't get out of their own half, and it's more St Helens pressure here. That's 3 tackles gone this set of 6. Oh, and there's Atkins has gone down. Something happened there in the tackle. This, meanwhile, is Roby. It's Cunningham. Back it comes to Roby. Here is Wilkin. They're trying to stretch them. Price, Wellens, Dean, they're over. But the kick's going to come from out wide. Second try for Christine of this match. 21 years old. And there's the Wakefield man flat out, Ryan Atkins. So they were short on numbers defensively. Don't know what happened there. Christine with the try, out wide. Another big test coming up of Wellens kicking. But what happened in that tackle?
Well, it's Cunningham that gets the ball away. I think it's the previous one in the build-up to that. As Dean goes in for try number 2 as far as it's concerned. Cunningham has a go. I think it's Stosic that is...
It is Stosic. It's my mistake, Steve-O. It's not Ryan Atkins.
Yeah, but he's certainly given him a wallop. And he got him with the ball-carrying arm. That was a beautiful pass from Leon Price. Wellens was in a superb position there. See how he gets close to. This is how they kept the ball alive. Watch the pass here from Price. Oh, Quicksilver. That deserved a try. Well finished by the youngster Dean.
Well, how about this for a pressure kick from Paul Wellens? Look where he is, right on the touchline. Not kicked one yet tonight. 0 from 4. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Oh no, he's missed another. Sliced it in front of the posts. 0 from 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tries. 5 misses. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tries to Wakefield, but Wakefield, they have kicked the goals.
Well, that was the punch with the ball-carrying arm. And Stosic went down. It was a massive hit. Not seen by the officials, and they nearly got away with it there. Leon Price had to be so alert there.
9 minutes to go, Wakefield ahead by 2, and Saints coming at them for all they're worth. Pulatua.
This is that set after a try what Phil was talking about earlier. They've given a penalty away. They carried the ball over 30 metres into the players and a penalty. This is where Saints are so good.
Richard Moore just holding the big man down in the tackle.
And what made it worse, he had his hand onto the football. The officials don't like that. They've been told at the start of the season, no messing around, no touching the football. That looked high on Graham as well.
Let's go straight down to Bill.
Could be another injury problem for St Helens on top of all the other injury problems they've got to contend with at the moment, because Johnny Lomax, we saw him being helped off, and it looks like an ankle injury for the youngster just sustained in this tackle as he went down there and just fell awkwardly. So that looked pretty serious as he came off, went straight to the dressing room. And as we said, there could be another injury to add to the growing list for Saints.
Well, they're having to do it tough if they're going to win this. It's with Price. Pass is popped up and Wellens goes down. Hull have taken the lead against Celtic. Leeds have extended their advantage. The ball is dropped. Wakefield have survived. And Salford clawing back against Castleford.
0! Wait!
Well, it's all action tonight. Gidley coming up with the error. There's been a huge problem for Saints tonight. And again, it's just about taking your eyes off the football at the crucial moment. Now then, can Wakefield get into Saints' half? Can they get the control that you often see from Danny Brough, Sam Ops, the little kicking game? Good work there by Henderson.
Yes, great run from Henderson, the substitute.
I think the hot spot when St Helens get possession is around the play of the ball. Everyone has this perception that Saints throw the ball wide to hurt you, but it's the quick play of the ball to run from Cunningham and Roby that cause so much damage.
Rubber kick through from Obst. He follows it up though, Obst, and he gets Wellens down. Just going for territory there, really. Here is Roby, and that was a lazy swinging arm by Oliver Wilkes. It's another penalty. John Keir, well, he went through a gamut of emotions last week, and how he's feeling now with 6.5 minutes to go. They're into the breeze, St Helens.
It was a lazy one, wasn't it?
Into the breeze, they haven't kicked for touch. They're on halfway on the first tackle, courtesy of Graham. Here is Paul Clough. He makes 10 more metres. Down heat, more than 10. Great run. Roby. Pulatua. Time for the big men now. Another good run.
Well, I hope John Keir's got the tranquilizers. He'll need something to calm him down.
Roby.
If Saint snatched this.
Roby to Graham. Graham on to Wilkin.
Great tackle by Blaymeyer. Right round the ankles.
Roby, Price, Wellens. Grix does well. Grix and Atkins do very well. Last tackle, 10 metres away.
Kick to the left, surely.
It's with Price. More shot out of the line. Price stabs it through. Grix to the rescue. Right on his own line, though. Wakefield survived.
Wonderful pressure that they applied to Leon Price. He really should have taken himself back at least 2 or 3 metres, given himself the space, failed to do that. That could be the turning point. Just over 5 minutes to go.
Blaymeyer, good run.
Wonderful work by Grix.
Brough with a deep, deep kick. Oh, it's a tremendous kick now. This has to be a good chase.
He's got to stop it. He's the foolish thing. It means all of his teammates have to run back 60 metres to get onside before they can start play again.
And the clock ticking down. They start from their own 20 once more with Gidley.
He has a great brain, doesn't he? Danny Brough, and that was a wonderful kick right the way through.
Gilmore halted by 3.
The important thing now for the Wildcats is not to give away a penalty. They've got to try to keep Saints as far away from the try line. He knows it does John Keir.
Here goes Roby though on a run. And Roby spinning as he was hit and tackled by 3. Down he goes. Wellens. Here comes St Helens again. Graham. Great run. Last tackle though. Roby finds Wilkin. Wilkin stabs the kick in, brilliantly collected by Blaymeyer again. He has been a hero in defence tonight.
They all have, Eddie. They've all done their work. Super stuff. They've applied the pressure. Fantastic Blaymeyer. There's been so many heroes for the Wildcats tonight.
No mistakes from Wakefield. That'll be the call from John Keir. Oh, big hit. Down he goes, Oliver Wilkes. 4 tackles gone, they're only 12 metres away. And Brough with a 40-20 attempt. Oh, out on the full! Out on the full from Danny Brough. Back they come to within 12, 15 metres maybe. Well, the referee says 20 from the Wakefield line to form the scrum. And he now calls time off with less than 3 to go.
Well, we expected it. And John Keir would have expected it too. Mick Potter thinking perhaps there may be a last light to give them a life that they can get home and win this game. But can this Wakefield defence, can it hold out? Yes, they've got it with an error.
Mistake from young Christine on the first tackle. Well, I was about to say, is lightning going to strike twice cruelly for Wakefield?
Well, surely that wasn't an advantage to Wakefield. The official, it was a knock-on, the official allowed to play on when the ball had gone about 10 metres further back. Here's a knock-on, ball goes backwards, and then he says play on. They should have put the scrum down.
Danny Brough will be breathing a sigh of relief. Castleford have beaten Salford. This is a big night for Wakefield if they can hang on to this. Oh, he's lost it, has Demetrio! And the referee says play on now, Saints.
But why did he want to pass? Why on earth did the captain want to offload when you're only leading by 2 points, but you are in front? He's had a tremendous match, but why on earth did he do that?
This is a big set of 6 for Saints. It's a massive set of 6 for Wakefield. As Graham drives it in, that's tackle number 2. Roby, can Wakefield survive? Can St Helens pierce the defence? Price, Obst is all over him. Leeds have won. Big night this. Pullatua offloads. Wellens goes for broke. And Wellens is clawed down underneath the sticks. 4 tackles gone, 2 remaining. Back it comes to Wilkin. Wilkin goes the other way. Finds Leon Price. Leon Price just caught in 2 minds. Takes the last tackle. Frustration for Mick Potter. Oh, penalty Saints. Will they kick it?
On the last play the ball, he has given a penalty. Snitch can't believe it. The entire Wakefield squad.
And it's 9-2, the penalty count, by the way, in St Helens' favour at this point. And we're entering the last minute. And Wellens is going to try and kick his first goal of the night.
He's released it. Leon Price has kidded the official. I think Leon Price had deliberately released that ball, and he has conned the referee, Thierry Alibert. What good thinking. Watch this. He just dumps the ball on the floor. There's no hand in there from either of the Wakefield players. That's the reason why they were furious with Mr. Alibert, and this man could have just conned Saints to a magnificent victory.
Well, I don't know whether it's a magnificent victory. They'll think it will be, because this kick to level it, and I think this will be the last kick of the match. What pressure on Wellens. He's not kicked one yet. This to rescue a point for St Helens. He's missed it. Paul Wellens has missed it, and Wakefield has justice been done.
I think so. They won't be rushing this.
There's the full-time siren. Wakefield have won at St Helens. Was there a hand in there? Yes, there probably was. Yes, there probably was. But Wakefield are dancing all over Knowsley Road. John Keir, smiling this week, was almost in tears 7 days ago when what happened against Leeds. But Paul Wellens, goal kicking tonight, has come back to haunt the Saints. They've outscored them 5 tries to 4. They couldn't manage a conversion, Phil.
No, and I think the thing we've learned tonight is that Wakefield Trinity Wildcats are a Super League team and deserve to be in the playoffs for the end of this year. To come here after the disappointment of last week, the relief there for John Keir, hand claps all round, that's a job well done.
It's a magnificent job. It's a job that not many people would have predicted. This is the kick. Oh, and he was nowhere near it, Paul Wellens. Nowhere near the successful kick, and it's his turn to hold his head in his hands. What an effort from John Keir's men. What an effort from Jason Demetriou, the Wakefield captain, man of the match. He's talking to Bill.
Jason, congratulations, man of the match. But after the agony you suffered last week, that must be so sweet.
Yeah, it is. I thought I'd given it away with a silly offload in the last minute, but thankfully they looked after me and missed that kick, so it was a good win.
But even then, I mean, the penalty will now, thankfully for you, he missed it, but that must have been an agonising decision.
Yeah, it was, but as well we knew we'd get a point out of the game at least, and we'd have been happy with that coming here. But like I've said the last couple of weeks, it's about performances. We've played the top 3 teams now, and we've been in a position to win every one. We've won this game today, so it shows we're going in the right direction.
And there was some fantastic defensive moments from the side, and that will be the key to this win, won't it?
Yeah, this team's getting closer every day now. We're really starting to bond together, enjoy playing together, and that's showing in our defence and showing the way we're playing, really enjoying ourselves.
Man of the match, £100 as well as the champagne, £100 for a charity of your choice. Where's that going to go?
Oh, it's definitely going to the Adama team, fun, and just like to say hello to Moana, Arden, Arena back in Australia, and all the Watani family, and hello to my wife and my kids at home, so thanks.
Thanks, Jason. Well done tonight. Let's bring in Danny Brough, another man who had a heart-stopping moment at the end when that went out on the full.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to judge this win there. They didn't kick the best tonight, bad conditions, but great credit to the lad. You know, they dug in tonight and came away with a convincing win. Obviously, we'll take convincing when he missed the penalty.
I think you made up for a big tackle, made up for it with that big tackle on Christine. You probably felt you had to put that in, did you?
Yeah, we're disappointed because, you know, Saints are that good near the line. You can't give him that much possession, and, you know, I just lucky enough the ball popped out and, you know, we dived on it.
Well, after last week when Leeds pitch you at the posts, this obviously makes up for that in a big way.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It could have happened again. We could end up with a draw, but yeah, as I say, real disappointing last week, you know, the effort we put in, but all credit to Leeds, you know, that's why the champions are scoring last minute, but today, you know, just glad to get the win, really.
An important win, whether it was Saints or whoever, you needed to get back on the horse, didn't you? Because, you know, you'd lost a bit of momentum as far as the top 8 goes.
Yeah, we did, and, you know, 5 teams on 20 points, and, you know, to get 2 tonight, I don't know who else has won, but, you know, we're still in the 8 and, you know, pushing on for the playoffs.
Well done tonight, Danny, and thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Fantastic win for Wakefield, fantastic match from Danny Brough and Jason Dimitri, who scored. Scott Griggs was outstanding as well, and what a difference a week makes to a team in the Super League. Wakefield beaten last week by 2, they win by 2 tonight, and at the home of the league leaders, 22 points to 20. Sensational win here. What's happened elsewhere?